It was a warm October morning in New York, the kind that's too stubborn to admit summer's over. Somewhere inside a modest television studio, just off the buzz of Columbus Circle, a couple sat backstage sipping lukewarm coffee from paper cups. One wore a velvet blazer that winked under the lights, the other slipped into heels like a ballerina before curtain call. They were calm, smiling, joking, completely unaware of the whisper about to grow into a roar. Because somewhere out there, tucked into the fine print of a press release, wedged between bigger headlines about political debates and celebrity divorces, was a sentence no one expected. Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos had just broken a Daytime Emmy record. Not tied, not nominated again, broken. It wasn't for the most glamorous category. It wasn't even for something people usually pay attention to unless they work in television or still watch cable with the grandmother. But the significance, monumental. Their win marked the most Daytime Emmy wins for co-hosts in a live talk show format, ever. And almost no one noticed. Quiet legends. In a world addicted to headlines that scream and careers built on viral moments, Ripa and Consuelos have never been flashy. They've been steady, which, in television, is rarer than fame. Every morning, millions tune in with coffee and cereal, hearing their familiar voices carry through kitchens and living rooms. They are laughter during morning chaos, warmth in cold cities, the comfort food of television. But to break a record in silence, that's a different kind of legacy. Because Ripa and Consuelos didn't chase clout. They chased chemistry, and found it in each other. From soap to sunrise, they met, of course, under the glowing artificial lights of daytime drama, on All My Children. He was Mateo, she was Haley. And while their characters danced around love and heartbreak, something real brewed between takes. Fast forward a couple of decades, and there they were, married, raising children, and somehow still managing to flirt on national television at 9 a.m. When Mark took over as Kelly's permanent co-host on Live, skeptics lined up like paparazzi. Married couples can't work together on live television. They'll run out of stories. It's just a gimmick. But gimmicks don't win Emmys. And certainly not a record-breaking number of them. What they built wasn't based on gimmickry. It was chemistry, refined over years, tested by life, and broadcast without filters. The record that slipped by. So what exactly was the record? To most, it would read like trivia: most Daytime Emmy wins for outstanding entertainment talk show hosts by a married couple. But peel back the layers, and it's a quiet revolution. In a category traditionally dominated by personalities like Regis, Oprah, Ellen, and The View Ensemble, here came this duo, unpretentious, familiar, honest. And they won. Again, and again, and again. And then, they broke the record. No front page splash, no viral clip, just a line in a speech, half swallowed by the orchestra. Perhaps that's what makes it beautiful. Because this wasn't a win built in a single season. It wasn't the product of a producer's dream. It was the result of something radical in modern media. Consistency. They showed up. They laughed. They cried. They shared, not just stories, but themselves. And over time, that mattered more than flash. Fame at 9 a.m. Fame is a strange thing when it comes in whispers. The world doesn't stop when Ripa and Consuelos walk down the street. Not like it does for A-listers emerging from SUVs at 11 p.m. But go into any home at 9 a.m. from the suburbs of New Jersey to the condos of Miami, and you'll hear them. Sometimes in the background, sometimes front and center. It's the kind of fame built not in bursts but in bonds. In the awkward pause between a child's tantrum and a sip of coffee, Ripa's laugh cuts through. In the quiet of a widow's mourning, Mark's voice becomes company. This is a kind of celebrity that doesn't trend, but it endures. And now, it's in the record books. Why no one noticed? Maybe it's because they didn't make a spectacle of it. No confetti cannons, no drama, no rivalry turned redemption arc. Or maybe it's because daytime television doesn't hold the same spotlight it once did. With the rise of streaming and TikTok and true crime podcasts, the idea of tuning in for a morning show feels, to some, like a relic of the past. But therein lies the irony. Ripa and Consuelos, once soap stars, always underdogs, just proof that staying power is still possible in a world spinning too fast to remember yesterday's headlines. And while the entertainment press moved on, distracted by flashier news, somewhere in an unassuming trophy case in New York City, a new Emmy statue was quietly added. The one that broke the record. Love, Live, and Legacy. Beyond the awards, there's something else that makes their story worth noticing: it's real. In an industry where on-screen chemistry is often more strategic than sincere, Reaper and Consuelos are the rare pair who bring their whole selves to the screen, bickering, blushing, finishing each other's stories, and sometimes forgetting where they were going with a sentence altogether. They are proof that longevity doesn't require reinvention, just authenticity. And maybe that's why the moment slipped under the radar. There was no rebranding, no controversy, just two people, in love with each other, in love with their work, doing what they do best. Together. The encore we missed. So yes, the world may have missed the moment when Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos broke a daytime Emmy record. But moments like that don't need applause to matter. They resonate in the quiet, the same quiet in which they've built their empire. Morning by morning, story by story, laugh by laugh. Because in the end, maybe the real award isn't the Emmy. It's being the voice in the room when the world wakes up.